Kia ora, no mai haere mai. Hello and welcome. This is Deborah McMahon talking astrology with you. And today we're talking about the astrological forecast for the week starting 20 June 2022. We're going to get straight into it because the week will be here and then gone before we know it. So pull up an easy chair, grab a cup of tea or coffee and enjoy a little astrological entertainment. This week, the sun will transit through 28 degrees of Gemini through to nearly 5 degrees of Cancer. If the sun in your natal chart falls within this degree range, it's your birthday week. You didn't need me to tell you that. So happy birthday to some of our Geminis and Cancers out there. And if you know someone having their birthday this week, think about sending them this video as a little astrological gift. There's a share button below and that you can use to send this video in an email or on social media. The moon transits about a quarter of the zodiac in a week, and for this week, it will move through parts of Pisces, all of Aries and Taurus, and parts of Gemini. These are the key aspects for the week, and we start the week with Mercury and Venus and Mars and Saturn in dignity in their own signs. This means that the planets are able to express their essential natures more easily. Mercury is more mercurial in Gemini, for example. And in the absence of other influences, there's a greater chance of a constructive expression of the planets when in their own signs. Mercury is our messenger planet associated with our thoughts, perceptions, and communications, and sometimes the technologies that support those functions. Venus is our relationship planet. She influences our appreciation of beauty and art and our want for connection with others and for harmony. Mars signifies our physical energy and our ability to assert ourselves and pursue our desires. He represents our personal will and sometimes our sexual drive. Saturn counsels caution. It asks for maturity and discipline from us, and it values that which has been tested by time or achieved through hard work and effort. Saturn can signify the aged and authority. I should explain that I'm influenced by the Hellenistic era of astrology, the Greco-Roman times, and so I use the traditional planetary rulership scheme. It's because that's important to some predictive techniques that I use in my consulting practice. So in the traditional scheme, each planet, with the exception of the luminaries, has two home signs. So Saturn is at home in Capricorn and in Aquarius. A dignified Mercury sextile Jupiter on Monday. Our ability to perceive a situation or communicate is bona fide by a supportive connection with the greater benefic Jupiter. What we have to say aligns well with and supports this Jupiterian expansion, asserting ourselves, being in the moment and taking bold action. More on this when we look at the charts. A dignified Venus trine Pluto on Tuesday. Venus with Pluto can bring notes of obsession, and we could be exploring the use or misuse of power or money in relationships. This is an earthy energy with Venus in Taurus and Pluto in Capricorn. So we could see passions rising, maybe between those who have an age or power difference. The planets are in a very helpful bona fide trine, and with Venus as our lesser benefic, lending her helping hand, perhaps there are useful changes afoot affecting how we find security in the material world. The Cancer solstice is also on Tuesday. This is when the sun makes its annual ingress into the sign of Cancer. I'm calling it the Cancer solstice because it's actually the winter solstice in New Zealand, but 90% of the world's population in the Northern Hemisphere experiences this as their summer solstice. It's still the ingress of the sun into the sign of Cancer. And for us here, it means the return of the light. We experience the shortest day, longest night, and thereafter the days get longer. It's a key season turning event. So a solstice is really significant in mundane astrology, where we're concerned with predicting world events. But here I talk about personal astrology. The Cancer season is about our need for emotional security, nurturing. It can be about home and connecting with family. Our feelings are closer to the surface in Cancer. The Venus ingress Gemini on Thursday. This is a change of dignity for Venus. So she will need to work a little more creatively to express her want for beauty and harmony in the socially active but capricious sign of Gemini. Multiplicity could be the theme, and there could be some distractions from some shiny, sparkly things or people. Moon in exaltation on Friday. When the moon moves into Taurus, she is in her sign of exaltation. Here she shows her most elevated expression. In the constant and comfort-loving sign of Taurus, the moon finds the stability and security she needs to fully express her nurturing, caring nature. Now, the moon moves swiftly through a sign, so enjoy these couple of days while they last. The moon conjunct Venus on Sunday, moving quickly along. The moon makes a union with Venus at the end of the week, a lovely marrying of our wants for beauty, connection, emotional security, and nurturance. This could be a good day to treat ourselves. Let's jump quickly into the astrology software just so you can see those aspects in their degrees and perhaps relate it to what's going on in your own astrological chart. I've set this for noon my time in New Zealand each day. Each aspect will perfect a few hours earlier or later in the day, but in the interest of moving this along quickly, I'm just using the noon charts. And unless you live in the same part of the world as me, just ignore the ascendant, midheaven, and house placements. The planets will still be in these signs and degrees and in the same relationship with each other. And if you're a long way away from me, my Tuesday could be your Monday because I may be ahead of you in calendar time. So this is Monday, and here's Mercury sextile Jupiter. Mercury up here, and sextile Jupiter. And if we look to the grid in the corner here, we can see Mercury come down and we see it's sextile Jupiter. It's an applying aspect, so that's going to perfect later on the day. It's a newly direct Mercury after its recent retrograde and free from its retrograde shadow. So it's into new Gemini territory. It's nice to move free from shadow and straight into an aspect with the greater benefit. I move forward a day. We have Venus trine Pluto, Venus up here, trine Pluto here in Capricorn. If we look at it over in the grid, Venus, trine, Pluto, and that's applying. It is an applying trine, so it will exact later in the day. This may be a depth experience, but a short one because of the speed in which Venus passes over this aspect. Later the same evening, we will see the sun ingress Cancer and make the Cancer solstice. Let's see. Yeah, so that will introduce Cancer season and it will last for roughly a month. If we move on a couple of days to Thursday, you can see Thursday up here. Venus makes her ingress into Gemini and we can see her at the very end of Taurus here at noon, but a couple of hours later, she'll make her ingress into Gemini and she will become co-present with her sign ruler Mercury. And this influence will last for just over a month or just about a month, short of a month. We move on to Friday. The moon will be in exaltation in the sign of Taurus, which will last from 2 to 2.5 days. See her making her transit through that sign there. And if we move on to Sunday, the moon will conjunct Venus in the sign of Gemini up here. A little bit, a few more hours, and we'll see them join together at 3 degrees around about dinner time in New Zealand. So let's jump back to our PowerPoint. Let me catch up with my notes. You're at the ground zero in terms of my learning curve, managing all of these moving parts. Okay, so we're back into our PowerPoint. I just want to say thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed this. If you liked it and want some more, let me know. Click that like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel. This isn't perennial content, it's only relevant for the next week. So if you like it, it needs your help to find its audience. Noho oro mai, stay well, goodbye for now.